G'day everybody and welcome to another episode of Automotive Carnage. My name's DJ and today's episode, I would really like to go bushwreck hunting. But to go bushwreck hunting, we need a car that's suitable, and I do have one, but it's sort of not working. Let me explain. Now right here, before we get into it, there's a couple of things I want to address. First is, as you can see behind me, today is quite a blustery day, so I do apologise for the wind noise we're going to encounter when we do finally get out bush, and we will get out bush in this episode. The second thing I want to address is the Cressida. The Cressida is still the main focus at the moment, but as I said last time, we are still just waiting for parts in the mail. The drive shaft still hasn't arrived yet from over east. The speed sensor, that has arrived. And that's about it really. We're still waiting for more parts to get here, and until the torque converter gets here, we can't go putting that in and slapping it all back together. Anyway, there's no point putting it in for final assembly when half the parts are missing from between the transmission and the V8. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Now, the other thing I would dearly love to do with this Cressida is this year in September we have the red center nats. Yes, that's right, I would dearly love to get this car to Alice Springs for the red center nats. It would be absolutely awesome, and I'll give you guys a fantastic opportunity to go and meet you, for me to meet you guys, and for you to see the creation that is just an absolute abomination of a car. Now, to get there, obviously, we need a little bit of help, would be absolutely awesome, and to do so, yeah, yeah, some of you have been asking for it. We finally have merchandise and we have a whole website. So if you jump over to automotivecarnage.com, you will find yourself this fantastic black t-shirt. It's always black, isn't it, with Automotive guys? Automotive Carnage on the front, and on the back, we have Baka Yundle. Now, Baka Yundle is the name that we are giving to the Cressida. The reason being, this is a Japanese car, it's a Toyota, so that's Baka. Yundle is local Wongai Aboriginal, to help pay respects to our local indigenous who helped me so much with finding these vehicles and finding the stories behind the vehicles. I wanted to pay homage to that. And quite literally, when you translate Baka Yundle, it means stupid car. I mean, need I say more? Stupid V8 and the stupid old rusty thing. Stupid car, Baka Yundle. Now, if you'd like to get your hands on one of these awesome t-shirts, head on over to automotivecarnage.com. They are made and printed by Dave from Right Lane Media, the same guy who does all the Skid Factory shirts, Nugget Garage, and a lot of other automotive YouTubers. Absolutely top bloke. Thank you so much to Dave and his team for making this a reality. I am so excited about it. He organised the design for me. It's obviously the Cressida Baka Yundle with a fantastic water tower from my local area. Right, and also, if you don't want to splurge out on the whole t-shirt, we do have stubby coolers with the same design. So thank you so much to everyone who watches. Honestly, it's amazing that so many of you guys love following and watching all the rusty old crap that I deal with. Thank you, really, sincerely. So enough of spruiking my own crap stuff. It's really good stuff. It's not crap. It's good. It's very good because like it's AS colors, so it's good quality. And I've like changed tires for customers in this, and you know you get dirt and stuff all over it, and you just brush it off, and it doesn't stain as much, you know. And I've got who else was there? I actually did buy one of the Skid Factory shirts once, and it was the same design. Well, not same design. Sorry, same price. I'm just rambling now. It's good stuff. It's good. Sorry, I was going on a little tangent there. I had to sharpen up. Right, we need parts for this. We need to go bush. To go bush, we need a car. We need a car. We have a car, but the car is broken. Let's go see that broken car. And here we are down the yard with our wonderful Prado. Now, what happened was we went to go bushwreck hunting for our friend Byron. We were looking for a new HQ to HZ ute body for him. And on the way out, we were about 7 k's out of town, hit the gravel road, and I realized there's a lot of dust coming out from here. And we're on the gravel road, dust isn't meant to come out here, so I quickly pulled over and found out that that dust was actually steam, and we created this wonderful steam cloud that you see now. So luckily we're still within cell phone reception, so let everyone know that hey, we may not be able to make it home, turn around, come home, manage to drive it all the way back without overheating or cooking it too badly. Cast iron blocks, so it should be okay, but these engines are notorious for the damaging the head gaskets once they do get a bit warm, so fingers crossed we haven't done that. There's no milkshake in the oil or the water, so we should be okay, but we'll confirm that once we drain it. So nice, easy fix. All we had to do was wait for a brand new radiator, and I figured since we're going to replace the radiator, we might as well upgrade it at the same time and do away with all those plastic tanks. So we've got a wonderful alloy radiator in here. Haven't opened it yet, so hopefully it's in good condition. While I was waiting for parts, I figured I might as well get more stuff. So found this awesome genuine Toyota Prado bug deflector to go on the front, give it a little bit of pizzazz up here. That is not a disc rotor, because if you remember, we did replace all the suspension and all the brakes in this car already, but we didn't replace the rubber hoses. So that's what that is. That's brand new braided lines. Handbrake cable, because Toyota just decided they weren't going to engineer their handbrake cables correctly during this generation in the 90s to 2000s. So that's stretched out to buggery, and it just works on hopes and dreams. It actually doesn't do anything. It's not connected to anything. It's more of a Bluetooth connection than anything else. Man, that wind is strong today. So we've got a brand new cable, and then also we've got some wind deflectors go around the top of the windows, because I reckon those look cool. Also, I've already started to install a CB radio, so that's just going to wire in the actual unit itself. And I think that's about everything that I have for this vehicle. So first things first, let's get that radiator in and make sure we haven't cooked the engine. Otherwise, everything else is completely worthless and not worthwhile and waste of time. Cue the music. Except we won't, because my camera decided to film the time lapse in photos instead of video. So there'll be no watching me running around like a maniac trying to pull this radiator in and out. I do apologize about that, but let's carry on as you were. So I just had this feeling that this was all going a little too well, and well, it was. Everything lines up okay-ish. The shroud, we had to trim a bit of the actual edging off to get the hose on. As we said, the alloy outlets are larger. For some reason, I didn't think about buying new radiator hoses when I did this, which I really should have, so I'll order some of those anyway and change them in the future. But our main issue is these blooming nutserts they've put in to actually hold the radiator to the chassis. They've put them in at the wrong size. So this is the size that came out of the factory radiator, and that's not even going to go in there. That's just the wrong size. Or what they put in was the same size that holds the shroud on the other side. So we're going to find some more of these bolts. It's not the end of the world. It just means we can't use the factory hardware. But luckily, I went and found this the other day in the bush. Yes, no joke, this was abandoned at the rubbish dump where I find most of my other stuff. Complete 2000 and something second generation Toyota Kluger with the 3.52 GR engine. That's still there, and it still rotates. It doesn't run, it doesn't really start, but if you hot wire the starter motor to the battery, you can get the engine to crank, and it cranks pretty healthy. So I found the bloke who put it out there, and pretty much electrical gremlins made him go stuff this and just threw the car out. And so I'm like, sweet, have you still got the key? And he said yes. So I paid him a few dollars for the key, and there we go. Now we have a Kluger, because I really want to play with that engine in a future build. But anyway, that's not what we need this car for today. What we need is all those little nuts and bolts, or bolts I should say, not nuts, that we can salvage, and we'll take them out of here and we'll put them in there. I'll get that radiator all buttoned up nicely now, and then I think we better test and go for a drive. What do you reckon? All right, let's do that. And well, there we have it, folks. We are back out in the wonderful outback of Western Australia. It is a little bit chilly today. The wind's picking up, but that's okay, because it is so great to just be out here again, and we're only made possible because our Toyota Prado is back in action. We have stress tested this on the way out here. In other words, I put my foot down and fanged it, absolutely thrashed it through the trees and through the bush here. And the cooling system is absolutely smicker. It's doing its job fantastic. No leaks so far. I am a bit concerned about those nutserts on the alloy. That's how it's mounted to, the radiator is mounted to the chassis. I feel those may not be strong enough for our driving conditions out here, so we might look at that in the future as well. But unfortunately, I don't have a TIG welder, so I'm not able to weld any kind of gussets or anything in there. We'll have to find some other solution. But anyway, besides that, it was really, really good. We managed to get our fancy little bonnet protector on there. I just had to get it done. Genuine Toyota part. Never really brought genuine Toyota parts before, so it's very excited about that. And yet to put the rest of the gear on. So enough about the Prado. We're out here to look for bush wrecks, and we found one. Just like that, Mitsubishi Pajero 90. Let's have a look. It's still got its engine in it, so it's a V6 petrol. There's our tag. Oops, There's our tag, and it was built September 92. That engine's actually fairly complete. Not touched. Like, we've even got the cap, dizzy cap, the leads, plugs are still in there. We've got fuses. Man, this thing has been here for a while, looking at how yellow those fuses are, but it still has fuses, which is really, really unusual for a bush rig. They are normally one of the first things to be taken because they can be used on so many different cars. Interior wise, look, we've even got windows. I just noticed we have almost all the windows. Front windscreen has been cracked. Rear windows are there. Driver's side, not sure. There's a lot of windows for a bush rig. The interior is pretty torn up, unfortunately. Looks like a few animals and a few knives has gone through it. Look at, we've got a 5-speed manual, high-low ratio box. Oh, look at that, we've got the altimeter, the thingy that tells you what kind of angle and direction you are facing, which is an option on these Pajeros. And looking around, we've got that. We've got these wonderful armrests that don't work on this side, but do work on that side. We have a sunroof in the rear and windows that open on the back. This will have been quite a top spec back in its day. We've got the running boards on the side. Nice Japanese import alloy. Oh yeah, rear windows been smashed. Bit of a homemade bull bar there as well. Not sure if that's for this vehicle or not. But fitting complete. Like, someone's been here and taken the fuel pump already, or is it still in there? They've had a good crack at it. You know, if you're really into your Pajeros, you can almost get this thing going again. There's a lot of parts still left on this vehicle, and I don't think it'll be too hard to get it running. But you'll have to be interested in Pajeros, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I have a Prado already. I am not needing yet another car. So really, really cool find. And again, we're just out here in the middle of nowhere, absolute nowhere, and she's just been dumped here. So really interesting. Not sure what the story is behind this one, but we may find out one day. I know there's a couple more spots around here. I'm yet to go see what's actually there. So let's go suss those out next. Absolutely love this. You just get out here, out in the open, and you just drive along, and next thing, you find something like this. What we have here is a HTGK. I'm not too sure. You guys can tell me exactly which model it is. Holden, I believe this is a Belmont, or is this a Kingswood? Let's have a look at the rear and see if the tag's still here. So station wagon, pretty well picked over, pretty well rusted. No badges on the back. I'm gonna pick Kingswood, but let me know what you reckon this one is, or what you know, because there's a lot more knowledgeable people out there than myself. What have we got going on here? We've got disc brake front end still on it. Well, the hubs are gone. Hub's gone on this side. Half the caliper's here. We might find the other caliper lying in all the junk that's around here. Again, same on this side. Hub's gone. Half the caliper left behind. A lot of rust in the guards. Yep, there's a few little trinkets, a few bits of chrome left on this to be used, but otherwise she's pretty well gone. Definitely not restoring this one, and you're definitely not taking too many rust cuts out. Look, someone's taken the rust cut right out of there. And oh wow, look at the janky repairs. That's just a bit of angle on it. No, that's just flat bar that they've welded into an angle and then use that to patch and encase the Y-frame. Let me chuck a couple of pot rivets in there to try hold it in place. Like all of them. Wow, that is some bodgy repairs, man. But hey, whatever it takes to keep the vehicle going. Look, we still have the booster. The master cylinder is gone though. Column shift. What's the rest of the floor like? Can we use the floor at all? The sills? Sills flattened there, but sill back here. Might be able to cut the rear sill out and use some of that. Now we've got rust holes all through that floor, and same on that side. So yeah, unfortunately, a bit of chrome, maybe the sills, but otherwise there's not too much left on this old girl. Oh look, there's the other halves of the calipers. So if you wanted, or if you had a Holden, we could do a disc brake conversion to it. Majority of the parts, I won't say all the parts are here, but majority of parts are here. Just need to find some hubs. I dare say those hubs will have been taken for a trailer, which is really common out here. Okay, look, we've got the drive shaft still here. Cool. All right, anything else interesting on the ground? Oh, a bunch of asbestos. Yep, unfortunately some people do dump it. Yeah, okay, nothing too much here. So we'll move on to our next vehicle. That's really cool because not often do we find Holdens. If we do find a Holden, it's generally this generation. most of the time we are finding Ford Falcons, so really cool to find a Holden instead for once. As I say, not very common out here. Right, on to the next location. Now here's something that gets me a little bit more excited being Japanese. We have here a Datsun 180B. 4-door sedan. We have all of our hubs are in place. Grille has gone missing unfortunately, but there's still quite a few bits and pieces left on this vehicle that could be worthwhile looking at. We've even got the twin barrel alloy intake in there. What's that, cast manifold, most likely the 4-speed gearbox. Engine bay otherwise is pretty well headed, it's gone. Doors are, oh no, doors are cactus. But we've got our hubs, our brake calipers, a lot of suspension componentry in there. Inside, the seat frames are here. Now, I definitely gonna need a reupholster. Seen better days. All the dash has been taken out, unfortunately already. Look at that floor. It's solid by Datsun standards. I wonder what it's like underneath actually. That might be worth pulling out. Sills are good, B-pillars are good. Really cool car, these things. I love it how for such a small little kind of family vehicle that they were, they came with an independent rear end, which is just like fantastic. So I won't say ahead of its time, but real innovative for its day and when this car came out. Really nice. Now we've got a lot of chrome still left on it and not too much dents in the chrome. One tail light has been smashed out, unfortunately. That one's okay, but plenty of dents around the edge, and we've got a crack in the lens. Beautiful Datsun logo there. Tow bar? What are you going to tow with a little 180B? I'm not sure, maybe a push bike or two. Whoa, lots of rubbish left in there. Wow, heaps of plenty of old Coke glass bowls as well. If you're into that kind of stuff, look, we've got a newspaper here. I wonder if we can read a date on this. There you go, September 28, 1991. Fantastic. Do we have, is it classified as well? Any cars for sale? I wonder if it's still for sale. Yeah, we'll go for that. 91. So this car potentially was dumped when I was only 1. Just amazing. Fuel tank's still in there. Rear tubs look good. I mean, considering that Datsun's rust out a lot, there might be a few cuts left in this. Man, that door looks savable. What's it look like on the inside? Obviously from a different vehicle, being a totally different color. Oh yeah, that is a good door. There you go. 180B doors. Anyone need some? In there, looking good as well. Wow, bit of home butchery going on here. That's feels like some thicker plate than what the body steel was. Running well along there. Job done. Sure. Right, that is a really cool find. I'm chuffed about that. In fact, there is enough left on this car. I wonder if we do something with it. Nah, now I'm just getting ahead of myself. I've already got 16 cars that I need to work for. I really need to start finishing some projects, and the first project that has to be completed is that Cressida Bakayundo. As I said before, merch is now available. Head over to automotivecarnage.com and check out the new t-shirt and new stubby cooler. Your support is greatly appreciated, and I would love to campaign a trip to taking Bakayundo, the Cressida, all the way to Red Center Nats and Alice Springs. It'll be absolutely fantastic and a great opportunity to come meet some of you amazing viewers. So thank you very much for sticking around for this episode of Automotive Carnage. My name's DJ. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.